This video is a general guide on your dress and appearances upon wearing your AFJROTC dress uniform and certain etiquettes you must follow when wearing it. Dress blues are classified into two different types of formal wear, your Class A's and your Class B's. Your Class A's requires a service coat while your Class B's does not. The Class B's can be a short sleeve or a long sleeve with or without tie depending on the uniform of the day. When putting on your ribbons on your service coat, it should be centered and lined up on top of your top left pocket, with the placement of your silver name tape on top and across from that pocket. When putting on your ranks, it should be parallel and placed next to a diagonal line but not over it. Make sure to use a ruler and that your uniform devices are lined up and straightened out correctly. In case your service coat does not have an AFJROTC patch, the measurement of the patch should be 1 inch or use your index and your middle finger for measurement. The placement of your name tape upon your male sleeve shirt should be on top of your right breast pocket. A tip on arranging your name tape is to align the button with the middle of your last name. I would also suggest cutting out a rectangular piece of cardboard and applying it underneath your shirt, as it prevents your name tape from shifting. This is only an example for when applying to enlisted ranks. Do not do this for officer ranks. Have your rank lined up at the tip of the collar and centered in between the edge of your collar. Here is more of an in-depth look. When applying on your officer epaulets, make sure you pull hard enough to where the seam of your epaulet tab is not visible and covered up by your officer rank. You are only authorized to wear a white V-neck t-shirt underneath your sleeve shirt. You're not allowed to wear any colored shirts or shirts that are visible when wearing your uniform. You are only authorized to wear long black socks and no exceptions. For Class B's with no ties, males are not required to press down or iron their collars. However, it must look sharp when you're wearing it. Your flight cap or cover must be worn outdoors at all times and taken off when entering indoors. When wearing it on your head, slightly tilt your cap to the right and pull on the edge to ensure that the gap on your top of the flight cap is closed. This regulation is only for male flight caps. For cadet officers, your device must be centered on the left side at 1.5 inches from the edge of your cap. When wearing your uniform, make sure your shirt is aligned with your belt and also the seam of your pants. This is called a gig line. Additionally, for males, the belt buckle must be worn on the left side, whereas the females wear on the right. The silver tip should also be aligned with your belt buckle. This is called metal on metal. Your tie should also not be beyond your belt buckle or any lower. When indoors, your flight cap should be attached to the left side of your belt with the top facing forward and hiding the triangular fold. During cold and windy days, you may wear a windbreaker. If the uniform of the day is Class B's without ties, your zipper should be all the way up and hidden. You are also to put your rank onto your windbreaker. This diagram explains the measurements and the positioning of your ranks. You may also wear a beanie instead of a flight cap if there is strong wind. If your uniform requires a tie, your windbreaker should be zipped halfway. This concludes the basic uniform guide to your dress blues. And make sure you read over your cadet guide and do not be afraid to ask for assistance and help from your upperclassmen. It is highly emphasized that you wear your uniform correctly and look sharp to represent the program and our unit as a whole.